Squeak Teeps! Alright, it's Volo time. This guy is your best friend throughout the campaign. Not only is he a hilarious dude, he provides so much service. Volo himself can provide a super useful item early on in the game that is build defining for certain things. He also can act as a camp merchant, letting you trade stuff throughout the campaign without having to traipse all about to find some guy to sell a sword to. Also, banking off of this, he is able to store and bank all of your most valuable cool items for later, so you can actually get money off of them without fear that you'll never go back to that merchant. He will also provide you with powerful boons later on in the game, like seeing invisibility or adding, making your numbers bigger in the final fight. He also will unlock a hidden ability with the Dark Urge if you go through a playthrough like that. All that and more, looking at Volo today. Love that guy.
Warning, this contains spoilers for Baldur's Gate 3 specifically related to Volo. Also, the footage for this will be bad at certain points. I apologize, my computer is better now, but not when I recorded these.
You can find Volo at the Druid camp here talking to a bear without speak with animals. Like a cool dude. From him you can buy a super important ring very early in the game. The Ring of Whispering Promises. This ring will allow you to gain the Bless condition anytime that you are healed, whether it's from the Ring of Regeneration automatically, or free healing from eating things like berries, or just a mass healing word to give your whole party Bless. This adds 1d4 to your attack rolls and saving throws. Super duper useful. An amazing item early on when there's not a ton of great rings. You can trade with him immediately, though I would definitely suggest doing this, otherwise he'll leave camp and it'll be harder to get to later. You can also sell all your items to him. Here I sold the spear that gives you advantage whenever you miss. This is because we want the access to these items later. Volo will become a merchant for us later in the game, so we will be able to get any item we sell to him later on. Meaning just sell away. If you were scared to lose an item but never ever use it, just sell it to him, gain the money, move on.
Successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
Ye gods! Can it be? How terribly compelling. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety? A gold dragon! How marvelous. Thank heaven you were here to specify, or I might have recorded a bold-faced lie. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates? They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one. A captain in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their... The scandal! I imagine him quite displeased. Since their change in allegiance, these goblins are an... I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to dawdle. My friend, every story benefits from a dragon.
He's so right. That's why we put them in the title of the game. Anyway, now that you've got this ring, you can add Bless to anyone by healing them. This is super great early on with your healer. Right now I have it on a Life Cleric, because they have Preserve Life as their channel oath. That allows them to do AoE healing super early in the game before you have mass healing word. Fantastic. As a bonus to this, I'm showing you here the Healer Starter Kit. Check out my other video on Zevlor on how you get the gloves that will let you add Blade Ward to anyone you heal, giving them resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Then you can get this ring from Volo. And finally, here, under a humble rock, you're able to grab another excellent piece of equipment early on in the game. This is a necklace that will let you cast Lesser Restoration every short rest. There's even someone in camp who's paralyzed in the Alchemy Shack, so you can use it on them. But overall, when there's very few good items super early in the game. Now you've got a nice little healer's bundle, courtesy of your friends Volo, Zevlor, and Rock. So, we know where Volo is headed off to next. He's going to negotiate with the goblins in their camp, because he knows their language, and look at how charismatic that guy is. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Cut to things going wrong. Volo right now is making up words in order to try and freestyle poem until the goblins get tired of him and possibly eat him. Beware, terrible visual clips. The audio comes through mostly fine.
Crown and with scepter abraid, draw Ragslin, short work of the innkeeper made. The inn burnt to ash, the captives were many, goblin kind had reduced them to cowering filfenny. So raise it, your goblets, and drain them with pride. Draw Ragslin, the true soul, had led you glide.
Now, usually I wouldn't want to tamper with gold like this. But if you are a bard, you can either grimace at him or try and help him rap battle with this. It's not a difficult check to make, but it is one I did not know existed. I just gave him my rapt attention the first time.
That was good. Carry it on, Pigeon.
And if you saw him kill manlings, you'd have to yell, Fa!
As another quick tip while we're running through this, I took thaumaturgy so that I could get advantage on performance stuff because I was a barbarian. Performance and intimidation. So often in this game, you just get advantage for being a bard for performance, or advantage on intimidation for being a barbarian. But it's still nice to have just in case you don't get it.
Why? He's a meatier creature than any I've spied. Oh, balderdash.
Oi, stranger! You meddling with my pigeon. He's talking stupid now.
Now?
Come, let's continue our ballad. Draw Ragslin, draw Ragslin. I am draw Ragslin. Tumptuous. Draw Ragslin.
You broke him!
Wait, wait. Draw Ragslin, we pray, we...
Come on, Pigeon! Back to your cage!
Now, look what you've done.
Needless to say, Volo's rapping didn't go super well. He should stick to writing books. But this means that you will have to rescue Volo. If you don't do it now, things don't go so well for him. Once you get deeper into the goblin's fort, there'll be an opportunity to spring him from his cage, though. You're able to find Volo as you enter the main goblin camp up these stairs to the right. He's in a small wooden cage being guarded by the person who was laughing at him before. She will take a little bit of convincing to get the key to Volo's cage, but I'm sure we'll find a way to persuade her. Now, with the key in hand, you can release Volo. I suggest doing this early, just because he broke out of the cage on his own the very first time I played.
I guarantee the story of your daring rescue of my person will live on for eons. That will sound ridiculous. But fine, if you insist, as much as it pains me to cede creative control. Once I've written you into one of my books, there won't be a tavern in Faerun you can enter without receiving a hero's welcome. We mustn't tarry, but I'd hate for our friendship to end here. Please, won't you meet me once we've both slipped the goblin yoke? Smashing! Soon, my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain.
Oh, what foreshadowing there. I also do like the invisibility potion is invisible. But yeah, that's it. And he just walks through the bars of the cage and he's gone. So now, at your leisure, you are able to go back to your camp and lo and behold, there he is, and there he will remain. The best guy. One of the most useful people you can just add to your camp, besides Withers, maybe.
Ah, my good fellow.
Now, if you talk to him, you can get him started on researching your Mind Flayer stuff, and also gain the Blazer of Benevolence from him. Whenever you bardically inspire someone, you get 4 temp HP. It's nice early on. There are definitely better things out there, but fashion-wise, can't be beat.
Good fellow.
So if you talk to Volo again, now he is just a trader.
Make myself comfortable.
He has healing potions, an assortment of scrolls, but more importantly, whatever you sell to him, he will have as inventory for the rest of the game. Since he's here, you are able to actually, I would suggest, gaining favor with him, getting it to 100 attitude with him so that you're getting the best trade deals. Now, I don't do it here, but the easiest way to do that is to set yourself to level 1 by going to Withers and then doing the trading. The attitude will go up much faster than if you're at higher levels like 5 or 6 or whatever else that you might be at. This is nice too, just in the fact of, let's say you don't like the Blazer of Benevolence or something else. You can sell it back to him, and whenever he's around throughout the rest of the campaign, you can just buy it back. Honestly, I consider him to be a bank of items that you get a payout for every time you deposit, and you can withdraw for a small fee. I've noticed lots of people having tons of items around in their chest that they just plan on using eventually, but never really get to, whether it's all the fire-themed items, or poison ones, or a giant sword that is blue, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I gotta keep that, it seems important, but then you just never ever use in the campaign. My suggestion, as you're seeing here, I'm loading up some items that are even unique named and other stuff like that, so that I can barter with him. Those items will stay in his inventory forever, and I'll be able to buy them back if ever I want to again. Like, if you get the Blazer of Benevolence and you're not a bard, and you're like, well, I don't want it, you can sell it back to him, and then if you ever reskin into a bard later on, just get those things back. Honestly, having a bank of items that you can get money for when you've deposited it is fantastic. And it's really nice to occasionally later on in the game buy back something that you really need now, but you haven't needed for most of the game. As long as Volo is in your camp, he'll act as the perfect merchant and bank. He's the best. We love this man. You can see later on when I have a bunch of items sold to him, I can retrieve them whenever I feel like. Very useful. Moving on, you'll notice this next clip doesn't have audio. That's because I was trying to record audio at the same time as gameplay footage, and man, neither of them came out well. Ignore my tail going through the block here. So, this is the famous Volo eyeball scene. If you haven't seen it, go watch a clip of it with great audio and great quality. They even released a patch once to make it even more gruesome looking. So Volo thinks he can get your tadpole out, and he's got the perfect tool for it. Since it's entered through your eye, he's just going to use a needle to remove it. And when this doesn't work, he'll use an ice pick. And when that works and removes your eye, he'll give you a good eye that can see invisibility. Get this boon, it's fantastic. But if you are Will, or if you've paid the price and used Hag's special eye thing and you only have one good eye, he won't do the surgery to you. Save this for the end of Act 2 though. Once he does the surgery and gives you the eye, he disappears for the rest of the act. Now, if you saved Volo, then at the after party after the goblin takedown, you can talk to him.
Aha, there you are. Come now, settle in.
Oh
I
god,
do
and
hope you have
hopefully your
partaken of something bracing.
video will look better
This
than mine.
may well take us all night. Why, you're naming, quite obviously. That ballad was but a crude preview, a frame without its crowning jewel. Your nom de guerre. Something iconic, but not too much of a mouthful. We don't want to exclude the common folk after all. I intend this tale to enrapture all. A wonderful one indeed. But your deeds loom larger than life now, my friend. You simply must have a title to match. Grove Keeper. Are you a gardener? We aim to cultivate mystery, not shrubbery. No, your actions in the grove were most heroic. But I'm afraid this is a matter of style, not sentiment. Back to the revelry with you. I'll give the matter some thought in small council.
So, after you send Volo away in Act 2, you won't be able to get him again till the lower city, the second half of Act 3, where he's in a bit of a bind.
If you would just listen, I could explain.
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothamp Gadam. You have poisoned the very hearts and minds of these good, kind, gentle citizens with your lies, your delusions, your conspiracies. Though you hide behind a mask of stories, we have seen beyond the veil. We see what you really are. Fearmonger.
Yeah, he looks pretty scary.
Attention seeker.
Okay, that one might be right.
Agent of chaos.
Your parasite stirs in recognition. This man is infected.
Right in the hell's Volo! Today, citizens, we rid ourselves of this cankerous sore. Today, we burn away all falsehoods. Today, we will be divided no longer, for today, we rise in truth.
Psst. Don't just stand there. Help me, goddammit! Help me!
A madman Volo may be, but I see no reason to blow him up over it.
Well said, Lizelle. Always knows the most diplomatic way to say things. Now, as soon as you reach for your weapon, he has a lot to say. I cut that part out because anime rules don't apply here. I don't know why we wait for him to light this fire. But yeah, you gotta rescue Volo on a time limit, and it's done. Not too tough, at least. Afterwards, you can talk to him, and he is very relieved to be spared.
What's an heroic story without a little risking of one's neck, eh?
Now when you go back to your camp, you'll find Volo here and you're able to talk to him. He's going to give you, if you are the Dark Urge, a book that will enhance your Dark Urgy powers. Now I'm going to cut this part out because no need to just throw spoilers at this, but it boosts your power a bit.
Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me? Nonsense! It is my dedication to truth that
love all the
endangers my
new
well-being,
syllables Volo
and
adds
I
to
have
these
uncovered
words.
the most startling truth imaginable.
Now, upon reading this, it'll give all characters advantage on fear saving throws if they're dealing with the ball spawn. For the Dark Urge playthrough, if you have the Slayer form, it'll also give you access to Piercing Growl, a large cone that does damage and could cause fear and bleeding. Very nice add to the kit when there's a lot of different bonuses you get for attacking bleeding people or otherwise. Plus, the Bank of Volo is back. Now, I don't have footage of this because my honor runs only have one save, and the save I have toward the end of the game with the Dark Urge playthrough, believe it or not, I threatened Volo and he left the game. Make sure not to tell him, now that you know my secret, I cannot let you live. He is way not about that. Anyway though, if you have Volo at the end game during your final encounter, he gives you a fantastic boon. Essentially, he will give you a +2 to attack rolls, to saving throws, and ability checks. Just a flat extra to all of those, just making all your numbers at the end game better. Further proof that Volo is our best guy. That's all I got on him. See you guys later. Bye-bye.